Warriors! XRP's plan to take over the planet, or just a nefarious plan to take all your money? You have to decide, Warriors. That's why you know if you give a man or woman a fish, they eat for a day. If you give them a fishing pole, they eat for a lifetime. If you teach them how to farm, you will teach them how to feed a nation. My name is Coach JB. I am the top health and mindset coach in the world. What you believe in your heart, you think in your mind, will eventually become your words and become your reality. I repeat the same things every single day because what you repeatedly do gets ingrained in your subconscious mind. What gets ingrained in your subconscious mind becomes an unconscious activity. And what you unconsciously do becomes your reality. It's really that simple, Warriors. That's why I've been able to lose my money 3 times and bounce back. But the third time, I finally grew up and I realized economics, the value of money, and how money actually works. And I understand from a biblical perspective that you're supposed to multiply your money. You're not supposed to just sit on your money. You're not supposed to just hold on to your money. You're supposed to be abundant, release resistance, and allow everything to come to you, Warriors. In about 1.5 years, I have completely and radically changed my life, and I'm helping warriors all over the world, specifically 1,062 warriors in 14 different countries, open up their mind and awareness to a new possibility. But you came here to learn about cryptocurrency. Sometimes I talk about crypto, sometimes I talk about economics, and sometimes I just go crazy. I believe in God, I follow Jesus, I'm non-religious, and I love everybody. All I ask is if you make a comment, say what you mean, but just don't say it mean. Love you guys. All right, let's get it going. Okay, so I want to show you guys, I'm obsessed with listening to Jerome Powell speaking because he keeps repeating the same thing over and over again, and that's called predictive programming. You have to listen to what he's about to say. He has said this multiple times. He is telling you, this was today. Oh, now there's 30,000 views. Good, that's awesome. Makes me feel a little bit better. When it's out of 7 billion people in the world, at one point there was only 200 of us watching it live. That tells you something. But the Watt video has billions and billions of video, and the new Little Nas video has hundreds of millions. But what's going to change your whole life and your whole world and your whole economics and your whole family's future and completely wipe out the middle class only has 30,000 views. So let's watch what Jerome Powell says. Listen carefully. And then I'm going to show you a video that's been shown a long time in the XRP community. I'm going to show you an announcement that was made today around Ripple. And I believe Ripple is going to change the planet. Here we go.
Quicker than the rest of the world, there are some divergences. It's not equal by race, by gender, by sector. You've been focused on this. I've heard you talk about it at the news conferences. Which parts worry you the most, and can you do anything about it?
What was so unusual about this event, this pandemic event, was that it hit companies that were in the service industries that faced the public with a lot of public interaction. And the people who lost their jobs to the biggest extent were relatively low-paid service workers in travel, leisure, hotels, restaurants, and things like that. Those people tend to skew towards minorities, towards women. They tend to be lower paid and have less in the way of wealth to fall back on. So they bore just a very large portion of the burden. As I mentioned, the unemployment rate among the bottom quartile of earners is now still 20%, whereas at the higher end, the labor market has virtually recovered, but not for people in the bottom 20%. So we've been very concerned about this from the beginning, and it amounts to 9 or 10 million people, depending on how you count it, who were working in February of 2020 and who are now unemployed. So they were in the workforce. They clearly want to be working, but they're not. And we will not forget those people, and we'll provide the economy the support that it needs until that job is done.
Okay, we will provide the economy the support it needs until the job is done. So they put you in a pandemic. They knocked you out of your job. Now you're at home. You've gotten 3 stimulus checks, and they're going to keep on coming, Warriors. They are going to pump the economy. You can listen to what they say within this whole video. They keep talking about we need to keep pumping the economy. Jamie Dimon says this is going to go until 2023. He has some good insight, right? He thinks the economy is going to boom till 2023 because they're going to keep printing money, Warriors. Listen.
The real concern, though, is that longer-term unemployment can allow people's skills to atrophy, their connections to the labor market to dwindle, and they have a hard time getting back to work. Also, it's important to remember we're not going back to the same economy. This will be a different economy. And one of the things we hear from companies is that they've spent a lot of time since the pandemic arrived looking at ways to have more effective technology and perhaps fewer people. So you're going to see some of...
Just said it. We are coming back to a new economy. His old saying was, we're coming back to a new economy leveraged for technology. We're coming back to a new economy, and companies are working to replace your jobs with technology. So are you just going to sit back, Warriors? They're telling you that the middle class is getting wiped out. The unemployment is not in the upper sector, it's in the bottom 20% sector. Think about that. It's going to wipe the middle class out. There's going to be a massive desperation too, in between the rich and the poor are going to be subsidized by the government called UBI.
Of that in these public-facing jobs. So there will be millions of people who have a hard time finding their way back into the workforce and recovering the lives that they had just a year ago. And, I think it would be appropriate for us to continue to support those people. What we call labor market scarring, when people are out of work for a long period of time, the record shows empirically that their whole economic lives and, frankly, their broader lives as human beings can be damaged even permanently. So we want to avoid that. And I would say we have avoided a great deal of it. The really bad outcomes that we were concerned about a year ago have not materialized. Nonetheless, 9 or 10 million people out of work, and we need to keep supporting them and supporting the economy, and we will.
Yep, they will. Stimulus checks are coming. I started out with that. Now, you want to know what I'm talking about. How do I believe XRP is going to be the biggest solve in the world? Because XRP, we're coming back to a new economy. You have an SEC lawsuit going on. If the SEC lawsuit gets dropped, there's pressure. There's big news that just came out. There's pressure on Gary Gensler to drop the SEC lawsuit. But this is an old tweet from a while ago. I think this is back in 2018. Yep. So this is Stephen the Bull Deep, at Deep, SANH. But listen to what this guy says. I love this. This is Naveen Gubat from Ripple. Listen to what he says, and then I'm going to take you through some stuff that was announced today.
We will change the remittance universe, the way you understand.
How do you think, what is the next move, on Ripple's roadmap, in your opinion? To put you on the spot here.
No, it's very simple. So I think one thing, if there is one message that you can get in this room, is Ripple is not an ordinary company. We are not here to have a small market share or do X, do Y, and make small amount of money or something to happen. We are here to make a dent in the universe. Either we will change the remittance universe, the way you understand, the way value gets transferred across the world, between people, between institutions, or we will just fade away. So it's almost 0 or 1, and some of it comes from our Silicon Valley arrogance. Some of it comes from, that's the reason 6 years ago we were born with the mission of moving money like information moves today, right? And we are making it possible working with the existing ecosystem. So I think this is a key differentiator about Ripple, and that's the reason we are a monoline company. Every day we get tens of ideas to say, why don't you do security settlement? Why don't you work in trade finance? Why don't you do X, Y, Z? And what we tell them is, just cross-border remittances is $155 trillion problem. We'll solve this first. We'll make a difference to everybody who's present in this room. And once we have made the difference, then only we will look at something else. So we are like, Google is for search, Ripple is for remittances. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to do it right, and we will not rest till we earn your respect and ability.
That's the type of people I want to run with, Warriors. That's why I invest in this. That's why I'm not leaving. That's the type of leadership you want to run with. Not people that run when an SEC lawsuit comes. You got to have diamond hands, Warriors. So let's take a little bit of a further journey down. I want you to watch this first part of the video. This is a World Economic Forum talking about climate change. And there were some announcements today about Ripple joining the climate change. Now, they're already moving towards an energy a carbon-free cryptocurrency, Warriors. They are hitting every single angle. Cross-border remittances. They're hitting every single angle in regards to the fourth industrial revolution, and we are moving there, Warriors. They are literally dominating and controlling and hitting the whole marketplace in regards to taking over the planet. right there. I've been talking to you guys about 2050, 2025, and 2030. I believe by 2025, that's when they're going to hit the switch in regards to moving the whole system into the quantum financial system. By 2030, your whole world's going to be different, and this is how it was packaged. All of a sudden, you got hit, boom, with the pandemic. You look this way. The whole shift goes this way, all packaged in a pandemic. I'm not saying it's real, I'm not saying it's wrong, but this is what happens. You have a problem, you create a massive reaction, and you need people with the solution. Who is the solution? The person that created the problem. Okay, so this is the climate agreement, the Paris Agreement, and what happened is right when President Biden came into office, the first thing he did was get us back into the Paris Agreement. I'm not talking about what president I like. I'm just saying that's the first thing he did. Think about that. What does that tell you where we're heading, warriors? So this is the announcement that was made today. Ripple, CoinShares, Consensus joined the Crypto Climate Accord. CoinShares Chief Strategy Officer says it's vital we correct the misinformation that has persisted about Bitcoin's energy use and resources. Ripple, CoinShare, and Consensus have joined the Crypto Climate Accord, an initiative designed to make cryptocurrency industry run entirely on renewable energy by 2025. I told you guys, this is when it's going to shift. You are so unbelievably early right now. Yes, we're going to see a massive bull run. But I am focused on 2025. I'm doing some exit strategy stuff going on right now to build up the generational wealth fortress. And as I go into 2025, that's when I'm going to become one of the uncommon 1% and change the narrative. I know it, you know it, and we're going to do this together. The initiative is led by EnergyWeb and the Alliance for Innovation Regulation, is inspired by Paris Climate Agreement according to the announcement Thursday. So basically, Ripple is now helping out with the Paris Climate Agreement. The accord is aiming to achieve net zero emissions for the entire industry, including eliminating historical emissions by 2040. Additionally, the Crypto Climate Accord will seek to develop an open source accounting standard for measuring emissions for players in the industry to adopt. Melton Demors, Chief Strategy Officer of CoinShares, said it's vital that we correct the misinformation persisted about Bitcoin's energy uses and resources. Prior to research by CoinShares in 2019 conducted that some of the 74% of Bitcoin network is powered by renewable energy, thanks largely to the highly prevalence of hydroelectric power regions in southwest China. However, studies by the Journal of Nature, this is important, Communications published Tuesday, claim that China's Bitcoin mining carbon footprint is equivalent to the entire emissions of 1 of 10 of the largest cities. Are you seeing the narrative? Okay, so they're selling us a narrative, Janet Yellen, Christine Lagarde, that Bitcoin is inefficient, it's used for nefarious activities, all this stuff. They're pushing you away from cryptocurrencies as they're all stacking their bags. Okay, so we had Jerome Powell telling you we're moving back to a new economy. He's telling you that technology is going to replace the middle class jobs. Okay, you got the gentleman from Ripple telling us we're going to leave a dent in the universe in 2018. Ripple's coming up to take over the Paris Agreement and help out in the Paris Agreement. And then this was back in, 2020? So leading the way in global crypto and fintech sustainability. I've showed you guys this article many times, but it's great to connect the dots back. The world is in the midst of a global climate crisis, one of them impossible to ignore. To avert worst-case climate scenarios, countries around the world committed to reach zero carbon by 2050, addressing sustainability across industries worldwide. Let's go down here. Fintech, traditional finances, they roll as sustainable by partnering with technology. Where's this one at? Okay, here we go. By partnering with technology and conservation organizations to ensure the blockchains can become carbon neutral, Ripple is leading the sustainable energy charge. The XRP ledger, native digital asset, XRP was specifically chosen to power RippleNet's on-demand liquidity services for its immutable green aspects and its payment scalability. With independent researchers suggesting that XRP transactions could grow by more than 1,000% by 2025. This massive implication for energy savings and the carbon footprint reduction in blockchain-driven finance. Utility drives price. Utility drives price. Scarcity, Bitcoin drives price. Okay? All right, let's go back. So Ripple acquires 40% stake in Asia's leading cross-border payment specialist, Tronglo. Did you hear what he talked about? This gentleman right here? We are going to lead and focus on cross-border payments remittances until we become the Google of moving money. Move being made in 2021. Ripple acquires 40% stake in Asia's leading cross-border payments specialist, Tronglo. We already made this announcement to you guys. And then I've showed you this many times. This was, I think it was an investor presentation that was presented around the XRP ledger and what it'll look like in between 2020 and 2025. Now, these things are happening behind the scenes, in my opinion. These are things that were presented to, I think it was, what was this? I don't know the exact investor presentation, but this is what it's probably going to look like, Warriors. The XRP ledger is going to move the currencies across the financial institutions. So the global RTGCs will remove friction, cost, and risk from cross-currency transactions. Distributed ledger technology, in particular, the XRP ledger, will enable banks to settle cross-currency transaction in real time, something impossible today. The XRP ledger can be accessed by all banks and liquidity providers, enabling healthy competition between the banks and better service customers. What have I been telling you guys? It is going to be a service competition. Jamie Dimon said it. Banks should be warned right now. If they do not get involved in the fintech, if they do not get involved in the new infrastructure of the cryptocurrency blockchain setup, they are going to perish, Warriors. When the CBDCs come out, pulling you closer to the central banks, moving you away from the commercial banks, they're going to work to partner together somehow. But your banks are going to have to become service banks. That's it. Bottom line, enough said. Because we eventually are going to have decentralized finance where we can get our own loans. So they eventually probably will create their own decentralized finance protocols. It's going to be who has the best service, who has the best marketing, just like right now. That's exactly what's happening. Who hits you the best? The one that hits your algorithms and gets the marketing to you. That's how you make your buying decisions. It's all going to be based on mind, your thoughts, your voice, what you say into your phone, the algorithms, who's the best at customer service, and you have the opportunity to invest in the new infrastructure of the financial system. And it's not just about XRP. There's many cryptocurrencies, there's many blockchain protocols that are going to change the world, Warriors. So the train has left the building. It's literally left the building, Warriors. I believe, and I'm willing to go down with the ship if I'm wrong, that XRP is going to leave a dent in the universe, as this gentleman said, that they're going to take over the planet, and those who stick around, I'm sticking around. Captain goes down with the ship, Warriors. But I have a broad portfolio of cryptocurrencies that are fundamental cryptocurrencies that are going to change the world. So if XRP went to zero, I'm still in good shape. But I believe that the XRP lawsuit is going to be either settled or dropped, and we're going to move to massive price appreciation. Now, do I believe it's going to go to 589, 589 this year? No, absolutely not. You have to have a certain market cap. You have to have a certain, think about that. So there's certain things that has to happen in the ecosystem. You need utility, you need demand, you need all these things going on, but it is going to have some massive price appreciation this year. But I'm not a technical analyst. I'm fundamental, real-world, solve cryptocurrency investor. So down below, we have our Crypto Warrior Academy. Well, I should call it the Warrior Academy. 120-day challenge mindset, subconscious mind programming, goal setting, nutrition, work out with me live daily, cryptocurrency courses, access to my portfolio, exit strategy, how to exit the market, how I'm exiting the market, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, a Discord with over 900 warriors in there supporting each other, cryptocurrency calls, technical analysis calls, everything you need to be successful in the crypto space, health and mindset. We are not financial advisors. We're just a group of people working together to move into the new quantum financial system to become the uncommon 1%. I'm fired up. Warriors, rise. Let's get it. Happy Friday Eve.